How do we manage this globalization so that it moves ahead with some degree of lag being permitted with regard to the movement of people?
It's a very difficult problem because not all the movements are within your control. Yes. I mean, look at the Europeans. One of the arguments is Polish plumbers. That means people from one part of the EU going to another part of the EU because they have free movement rules within the EU, mobility of labor. But a big part of the European problem is refugees. Refugees from the Middle East, refugees from sub-Saharan Africa. And can you build a wall around Europe? Or install a fence in the middle of the Mediterranean? You can't. So they're going to come, and what are you going to do is very stressful and destabilizing for the societies. So to the extent that you can, you have to manage the flows. The Europeans have taken a very fundamentalist, or shall we say, very absolute approach to this, that a single market means free movement of goods, services, capital, and people. And free movement means free movement. And if you take that approach, then you have to accept a lot of the consequences, and the politics may or may not carry with it. If you are less absolutist in that, and you say, I'm prepared to have a bit less integration in goods and services, in exchange, I'll have a bit more control over movement of capital. Well, you can think of another solution where there's time for a lag so that people can catch their breath, and you can have tripwires, and you can try to digest what is happening to you. I don't know how whether the Europeans want to go there. The British would like to have it both ways. Goods and services for free, capital probably also for free, but labor, let's look at that. And I'm not sure that cherry picking is allowed. So they have a difficult problem. In Singapore, we have to accept that trade-off, and we have to manage to stay open, but at the same time to manage the inflow so that we can digest it, and so that our own people do not feel that something has happened to the world and Singapore is not the same anymore. Yeah. And that's partly numbers, but it's also partly how it works together. If you come in as a company, and the company may have a lot of foreign workers, foreigners from all over the world, but you also make an effort to develop your Singaporean talent and to recruit a reasonable complement of Singaporean staff who can make a contribution and fit into the company, then gradually you get absorbed into our community, not just our economy. But if it comes in and everybody who works in the company is from somewhere else, well, you may pay your taxes, but somehow it doesn't feel as if it's been integrated into the society. And it's the same with the individuals. If you come here, you may be an NRI from India, from Europe or America, but you fit into the society, you work with SINDA, you do community work, you participate in our social activities, and gradually people feel, yes, they're not quite the same as us, but there is some common ground. We can talk to one another, and we have respect and regard for each other. I think that is good. But when numbers are large and there's a risk of people, the two communities being separate, those who are born here and those who are from abroad. And by looking at the person's dress and gait, and if you listen to him, you know absolutely straight away which group he is, my T-shirt or his T-shirt. Well, I think that can become very sensitive.